And now, for your listening pleasure, And
here I am on Lost Moments Day, remembering the first times in my childhood that I ever felt grief. I'm Carol Lynn Sanic, life coach, author, high-value woman, and this is my podcast, Thrive. So hang in there with me and let's go thriving for several minutes. The very first time was the story Bambi. I am sure it was read to me before I could read very well, and by now you should all know Bambi's mother died in the story. Later in life, I thought that maybe this story should be for children who are more mature and ready to know that tragedy can happen. But then on Christmas Day, 1957, Old Yeller was released. And I can still cry when Yeller was put down so he couldn't pass rabies on. That story made me so mad and so sad, and I still scratch my head and wonder, when's the right time to tell children about death? In between these two fictional stories, both of my grandfathers passed away, and I can still see them both in their coffins. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. All I know is grief came knocking early in my life. There was no advice column, so to speak, for parents on helping children when they had to learn that there is such a thing as death, and that we would all die someday. The thought of that was very frightening. We had no sense of time and years at our young ages. Somewhere in the mix of all of this, a young girl in my grandmother's neighborhood had kidney failure and died. I don't remember anyone in my family trying to console me. There are times when I think our parents did not explain things because they did not know how to explain things. Now we even have people like me trained to help with situations like this. What was your first grief moment? For me, Santa Claus comes to mind too. Finding out there's no Santa Claus, it's a grief moment for kids. I'm Carol Lynn Sanic, life coach, author, high-value woman, and this is my podcast, Thrive. Thank you all so much for listening, and that is a wrap.